I click one time, I get one donut. And in doing so, I've achieved grandma, then it rains donuts when we get rich. I like where this is going already. We're just gonna continue to click donuts. And for $10, we can just straight up buy a grandma, just like in real life. Now we make 1.6 donuts per second and I don't have to click at all anymore. And I got a star, so I bought 2.5% reduced upgrade prices. And it's raining donuts again, there's a few thousand easy ones. Does grandma get an upgrade every 10 levels? It doesn't seem so. Each one of these is plus 1 click power, so we're gonna get another 11 click power. That's gonna help us make some money. Oh, I have 15 gems as well, so we're gonna spend that on more gems. I'm confused how that works, but that's okay. We're gonna buy a beginner clicker now. That's gonna add me 17 per second. So as far as I can tell, whatever currency it is can buy any of these. So I'm maybe going to go for more clicks because I have a feeling it's going to be a clicky day. We can actually afford some pretty nice stuff like amateur clicker. We're skipping right over some of them. I do find it strange it doesn't actually show us what our per click is, but I know it's getting up there. So this actually adds 20 donuts per second every time we buy it. This adds 5 donuts per second, so buying 4 of those was cheaper than one of those. And the donut rain came in again and gave us 4,000 donuts. Then now we can add an extra 50 per second. Went from 70 to 122. And in case you didn't think this game had any depth to it, this thing just keeps going and going and going and going and going. Like, it's actually going through all of the letters now. That's down to T, T, U, U, V, V, Z, Z. That's like one with a trillion zeros after it. And that really excites me. And I'm going to keep reducing the cost of upgrade prices. If I keep reducing the cost of upgrade prices, eventually they'll hopefully be free. Oh, this actually adds 100 click power. So that's not bad. Especially if I use the auto clicker, which I fixed. That's easier. The sound, the chaos, it's raining donuts. I think next I'm going to save up for more experience though. That one's expensive, but the more experience we get earlier on, the better. So these gems I've been collecting are like time skips. So I'm going to save that for later when we need them more. Challenger clicker, this adds 750 per second, so that's just about 1,000 donuts per second. With a few of these, 1,000 per second. And well, we can just do that and then we get many thousands per second. So we could definitely do this to get some extra clicking power. I don't know what we're getting now, but it's considerably more again. Now we're making more like almost 50,000 per second, so that's escalating fast. And it's only going to take us a couple more seconds to reach Donut Millionaire, for which we got some kind of achievement, which I missed, and we're getting 14,000 per falling donut. We can now get champion clicker, that's 2,500 per second, so we're just going to overload on that. So now we're up to 14,000 per second without doing any clicking. Of course, if we click, it goes way, way higher. But I kind of want more clicking power because clicking's kind of where our money's coming from right now. So we're, yeah, legitimately at probably 100,000 per second, so every 10 seconds is 1,000,000. And now we can upgrade again. That's going to give me 10,000 click power, so we're going to go ahead and buy that, and now we're at close to 1,000,000 per second. And that's the kind of donut spawning I like to see. It's kind of hypnotic if you just stare into the hole and watch it shake. But we're going to need more than that. We currently have 23 million donuts. This adds 25,000 per second, so we'll just overdose on that. Now even in the background, we're going to make 1,000,000 every 5 seconds. And I accidentally auto-clicked this, but I wanted to. Now we're getting 2.5% more experience. And we've got a long ways to go. This costs 1.73 million, so we're going to buy a lot of that. And I don't know what we're getting per click now, but it's got to be a lot. I don't know if we're quite at 5 million per second, but we're close to 5 million per second, which means we've unlocked the legend clicker, $32 million, but that by itself adds 500,000 per second. So every second, 700,000 donuts. So even if we just let the game run overnight, it would make us an absolute fortune. So we'll buy a few more levels of that, 1.71 per million every single second. I felt like celebrating us hitting 100 million donuts again, so now we have a yellow donut. So let's buy a little more experience. That's just a good investment. And then it's back to clicking. The next thing costs 231 million, so that's really only going to take a couple more seconds. And I really hope it increases my clicking power because we don't, that gives you 1 million clicking power. So even without the auto clicker, that's stupid, but with the auto clicker, it's somewhere beyond stupid. So we're quickly closing in on billionaire status. I thought that would take us a lot longer to get here, but here we are. So I'll buy another level of this. 2 million per click. We basically just doubled our production and now we've tripled it. I'd say that's legitimately 100 million per second at this point. Oh, this is adding 10 million per second. I was clicking on the wrong one. I was wondering why the thing wasn't going up quicker. It's the middle of the night. I'm very tired. Math isn't easy at the best of times. But now we're making, I don't know what that is, almost $500 million per second. So let's add extra donuts per second in the background. So 61 million every single second. And that quickly gave us a 10 billion we need for divine clicker. That's 100 million per second. There's a gummy bear for 925 million that automatically clicks for me. but he doesn't do it quick enough for me. And I can't respect a gummy bear enough to let it work by itself. It does click once every few seconds, so that will add up over time for sure. Okay, these cost 705 million each, and that's already well over $1 billion, but now our clicks are worth much, much more. I was just worried about the amount of time it's going to take to save up $32 billion. Now it's only going to be a couple seconds. And that was Easy Lethal Cursor. That's going to add 100 million click power. I don't know what we're getting now, but I don't think it's 100 million. No, it sure is. And off. Wow, look at the billions go now. There's another 30 billion. So we're probably definitely going to milk this one for a little while. Okay, we hit $250 billion in no time at all, so more Lethal Cursor for us. And the income goes up even more. Probably about 50 billion per second at this point, so we've gone to almost $500 billion now. And 2.5% more experience earned. Look at this upgrade. 5 billion donuts per second. We're at 161 million now, so that's a massive upgrade. But when you got an auto clicker, you gotta use it. That's the law. Plus the sound of clicking on the donuts is probably doing irreparable harm to my hearing. But then again, I don't really need ears to play clicker games anyway. We're officially a trillionaire. So we're going to upgrade our cursor a lot because that's just making us lots of money, and we're going to be a trillionaire again very soon. We're making almost $100 billion a second. The next upgrade does cost 37 trillion though. That's actually a lot. So for now, let's spend $2 trillion on clicker upgrades, which actually wasn't that many. So we'll buy a few of these to get our per second in the background up a little bit. That's certainly going to add up. But the clicker is still cheaper to buy, so we're going to continue buying that. Wonder how many of these gummy bears I'm allowed to buy. Just endless amounts? Because I've got lots of trillions of dollars to spend on these. And now the gummy bear is actually clicking pretty quickly all by itself. Oh, it maxes out at 25 levels, but I mean, for the amount of money we're getting per click, that's actually going to give us a lot. So I feel like this is normally about the part where you would prestige, we get 138% bonus. But instead of prestiging now, why don't I just go like this and let this run for the next 12 hours and then come back and prestige to great results. Fingers crossed that this is the night my computer lights on fire and burns the house down. A short 12 hours later, we have 2.46 trillion donuts. So instead of having 200 donuts if we prestige, we have more like 47,000. And I've got a few points to spend here. So about 50 levels of extra experience, and then I'm just going to add extra power to clicking. And I'm probably just going to auto click my way to the end. It's just a flat cost of 1, so you can just buy them pretty much endlessly. It's still going and going and going. So the experience meter at the top is moving again quite quickly. Maybe I should have put more into experience, but I'm not sure it matters. We can't actually afford the next upgrade yet. Well, now we can. That gives me 10 quintillion donuts per second. This gives me 1 quintillion clicking power, so obviously that's the one we need to buy because then we can start the number moving again in a big way. And we've just made 50 times what we made in the last 12 hours. And that's with the godly clicker, so we'll buy more of that to get us our donuts per second going up, and our cosmic cursor, of course, we need lots of that, but we're paying for levels of itself even without clicking. When we do click, of course, there's 100 sextillion, there's 200 sextillion, and then we can get more upgrades. The next one costs, well, there it is, 462, and that gives me 1 sextillion clicking power, so that's going to get even stupider again. This costs 231 septillion, which we can afford. That gives me 1 sextillion donuts per second. But we're really just here for the clicking power, let's face it. And I can add auto-clicking gummy bears at this point. Kind of forgot they existed. These only cost quadrillions of dollars, so they won't even move my money. So I got 70 levels of the pink one. We can already afford the blue one. I'm not sure how much he's going to click, but any extra clicking helps. And they actually go really fast. I'm not even auto-clicking right now. If I do, I still make more money, but them by themselves are actually pretty efficient. And we click away till we have about an octillion dollars, and then we can buy a reborn cursor. That gives me 1 septillion clicking power. And as soon as we do that, the gummy bears are actually making so much money, they're paying for their own upgrades. Like, I don't have to do anything because the gummy bears are doing it all for me now. The game's playing itself truly. Alright, we'll add a little bit of clicking now. Now we're into the hundreds of octillions. We just broke an octillion dollars, and now we're already smashing through it. We're at half a nonillion. But since we are getting these annoying little slowdowns, now that we've hit $1 million, it's time to restart for extra clicking power. So to start, one click is $13,700. So that's pretty much going to be our multiplier. I've only clicked a few times and we've gone way past grandma. We've gone all the way down to champion clicker. But that's not good enough, so we're just going to head and click our way down to whatever we can afford, and then we're going to start on that one. Okay, we've already made millions of dollars. We made tens of millions of dollars. We can buy master clicker and super cursor, legend clicker, and then we're just going to keep clicking. Do we still have all of our points in here? We do. Gummy bears reset, but that's okay. We can buy new ones. Okay, we're very much a billionaire. I haven't even used an auto clicker yet, not even close. The multiplier is really doing its job for us. Okay, we're now trillionaires. This is going to add 5 billion per second. I don't know, times tens of thousands probably. This is 100 billion clicking power, but it actually equals a lot more. We're making quadrillions of dollars per click. This one adds 100 trillion clicking power, and I just bought 16 levels of it, so if I go like that, there's 6 trillions of dollars. It took us 14 hours yesterday to make this much money. We just did it in like 60 seconds. We can buy the universal cursor, 1 sextillion click power. We bought 6 levels of that, and look at the money go. Then we're back to the octillions already. A few of these, and then a few of these. These are supposed to add a septillion clicking power, but it's a lot more. Okay, there's a nonillions. We have officially more money than we did before. And 30 nonillion is a very, very big number. It's hard to even fathom how big that is. So now we're going to start adding octillion clicking powers, and we're making decillions of dollars per second. I like how every time I move over, I can just straight up scroll down and buy whatever I want, really. So I'll buy a few more levels there, and now we're making AAs. We're making As per second. Well, we've officially reached the max level donut, which is simply an everything donut. I forgot about the gummy bears, so we should probably buy a few of those. I'm just going to auto-click them till hopefully they're maxed or not maxed or whatever they do. They go to pretty high levels, so these might get expensive. I guess even if they do get expensive, they'll pay for themselves, but I have enough money I can already buy almost 100 levels of yellow gummy bears. And that means I can be even lazier if I want to. Like, I don't have to use my auto-clicker anymore. I'm not sure it makes a difference. So I'm mostly going to stay over here and buy like unknowing clicker. That's going to add a lot because the gummy bears are all clickers. Oh, this is adding per second though, not per click. So we're still making a lot of money without clicking, but we're also clicking a lot. So adding powerful cursors to that is certainly going to help. Look how many levels we can buy. This is supposed to be a new upgrade that's very expensive, and we can just click till 40 levels. Okay, well, I'm going to only buy Grandma 2s. It's a new and improved Grandmas. And then we're just going to buy 1 AA clicking power per second. So there's 20 times also 14,000. So I don't know, 28,000 AAs per second, which I think might put it into BBs, which is why we're into the CCs. But this is all getting a little bit confusing for my coffee-addled brain. Long story short, I'm just going to start working my way downwards, and we're just going to keep on clicking on things. This adds 1 BB click power per second. So there's 20 levels of that. Now we're going to add 1 CC power per second. I think we probably need to buy more gummy bears. This might also max out. No, it doesn't max out at 100. I don't know how quick you can end up clicking, but that's actually going to start eating up my money. 150. So yeah, I'm not sure my auto clicker makes any difference at all right now. They're clicking so fast that there might not be any more room. This is going to add 1 CC per second, though we are into EEs. And the next one costs 850, so we are still waiting for a minute for upgrades again. But it's never very long before we afford the next one. This is going to add 1 DD clicking power. We're going to buy a lot. We have 30 FFs. I guess my extra clicking power is probably also carrying us through this, because this is pretty much all I upgraded. And we got 25 more of these to spend, so we will maybe spend on discounted upgrades to try and make them a little cheaper so we can get closer to them. Turns out that maxes out at level 25. This probably doesn't have a top. We have more idle money and more gem drop chance. I'd rather just have more experience and, I don't know, more gems. So the next one costs 3.75 GGs, which is actually taking a little bit of time to get to. I didn't realize this whole time there was more stuff. I thought this was only time skips you could use with diamonds. You could buy all sorts of things. Like a pink package contains a few large items, sure. Purple package contains a few medium items, and this one has a few small items. So let's open those up and see. We got bombs, and okay, these just summon gold donut rain, so that just gives us an extra boost. That's not nearly as exciting as I thought it might be. These do give instant clicks of money, but we're clicking so quick anyway, I'm not sure it matters. We can finally afford the holy cursor though. We can almost buy 2 levels of them. In fact, we can, especially with the extra clicking power we're giving ourselves. Okay, we can also add 5 minutes of idle donuts if we want, and that's not really moving the number because our idle numbers aren't nearly as good as our clicking numbers. Mysterious brew though, rebirth without resetting your progress. So if we do that now, we can add a lot of extra clicking power. So yeah, let's try that. Okay, we just rebirth, so the number should be considerably higher than it was. I mean, we can afford this guy now, and we can afford him again, so clearly that did make a pretty big difference. That is, I didn't use it yet. Don't worry about that. We're gonna do it now. And we'll take, I don't know, an extra 10 minutes of idling, and now we should be able to afford him easier. You know, the prestige didn't do as much as I thought it would that time. It still did a lot, but I thought it would do a lot more for us. I guess I do have 500 GGs of money, which is an absolutely ridiculous amount, so it's not like I haven't made any progress. The next upgrade costs 19 HHs, so it's definitely going to take a minute to get there. We saved up about 2 before I started buying upgrades again. I realized in the options menu I could actually turn down the particle amount because I turned it up at the beginning because I'm stupid. Now the game might run just a hair faster, and the faster it can go, the more money we can make. And I'm going to use my auto clicker for assistance because it at the very least makes a difference to how much experience I'm getting, and we unlock the cosmic cursor. That adds 1 FF of clicking power, so now if I do this, we'll make that money back in no time at all and move on to bigger, better numbers. Also, manually clicking, as in my auto clicker, might also get us more for prestiges. Well, whatever the case, I'm going to buy a whole bunch more cosmic cursors because I can afford it. Knows it's getting expensive fast, but look at all the money we're making. We've made 1.5 IIs. I don't know how big of a number that is anymore, but it's really big. I just bought 1 level of champion clicker that took us from like 3 AFFs per second to 760. We're going to buy 1 more, so we're at 1.2 GGs per second. It's been a few short minutes, but we're still only at 7 IIs. We need 3.75 JJs for the next upgrade, so we need to make like 1,000 times what we have now. But that's okay, because I think we can afford a mysterious brew at this point. And that can add a 49,000% increase. So I went ahead and used that, and our income seems to have moved up. It's definitely going quicker, but it's still not quick enough to make me feel good about getting here quickly. So we need to save up some rebirth donuts again, so I'm just going to sit back, relax, let it do its thing for a little bit. A few minutes later, we're still saving up the 3.75 JJs we need. Rebirth progress isn't a problem. We're going to get 315,000 of this. So if we use one of these, that gave us over 3 times the bonus that we initially had, so that should hopefully get us a little more progress. But when in doubt, we just buy Cosmic Cursor, another 20 levels. I guess I could also buy background earnings. I'm not sure if it's worth it at this point, just because our gummy bears give us so much clicks. I just realized my gummy bear thing had been scrolled down, so I missed the green gummy bear this entire time. He doesn't click real fast, but he certainly helps out, and he would have made a big difference over the past several hours. Just for fun, I decided to make it rain donuts a whole bunch, because that might actually give me a little bit of progress. You know what, that worked out so well. I'm going to do that again, but with 25 cookies, donuts, and then the donut rain comes, and we're going to grab all that because we have all the diamonds to spend anyway, and actually that added up to a lot of money. Which means we can finally afford the Master Clicker too. That costs 3.75 JJs, but it's going to give me 1 GG per click, so now we're making stupid amounts of money, even compared to what we just were. So let's see if we can sort of do that again. I just bought 30 presents. That means we can drop 155 golden candies for donut rain. So let's see if we can get all those down before they start falling. Nope, can't do it. Well, we did about 100 of them, and we can't even click them all. They're falling so quickly, but look at all the money we're gonna make. So we could buy more Master Clickers, that's for sure. And now we're clicking way faster than before. We're gonna do that one more time. Maybe just one more time with another 50 of those things, and just for fun. The next upgrade costs 19k. Like, we're a fifth of the way to 1k, and then we still gotta go through all these levels too. If I prestige now, I can add another 25,000 to the bonus, which does help a little bit, but not enough to get us to where we're going in a hurry. I just realized I've been really stupid and clicked right over Universal Click Cursor. I went to Master Clicker for some reason instead of clicking on this, which is what I actually needed to be clicking on, so that should help a little bit. I'm being stupid. That should help a lot. I'm just trying to convince myself I didn't just actually do that. But now we can already afford another level of that, and we're suddenly on to much bigger progress. So let's try the donut rain thing here and see that, yeah, that's getting somewhere. We made, well, 3/4 of 1kk. It's still a little bit slower than what it could be though. We've made almost 2kks now, but that's still only 2kks. But say we were to just restart with all of our bonuses intact at level 2202, one click gets us 245,000. I just wanted to emphasize how strong we actually are, to the point where we can just work our way down the list with only a few small clicks, and we're already into the millions, and then we're going to be into the billions before you know it. As we click, we should basically unlock the next thing, because our bonus is so stupidly big at this point. All it would take is a few auto clicks to get us going again, especially with Hyper Cursor. We already have trillions, quadrillions, quintillions of dollars. Well, it only took us a few seconds to get back to the octillions, which I can just spend on grandmas, and grandmas can fuel us into bigger, better futures. I just bought 329 grandmas, so I've accomplished something here today. So naturally, this is a great time to just let the game run in itself. We'll come back in 2, 3, 10 years and see how much money we have.